This is very likely the end of type 1 diabetes. Let me explain. My name is Devin, and I'm an anesthesia provider, but my daughter has type 1 diabetes, and it is all I read about. This company called Sana just released one of the most exciting trials I've ever seen in my life. On January 7th, they put this press release out that they were able to evade or hide insulin producing beta cells from the immune system. And they did it in Sweden with one patient. This study is being done in Sweden at Uppsala University Hospital. The patient, as you can see here, is a 42-year-old male. He was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes in 1987, and his A1C was at 10%. What they did is they took some human cadaveric islet cells that produce all of the hormones needed to control blood sugar, insulin, glucagon, somatostatin, and they modified these on a genetic level using CRISPR technology. And what they did was nothing short of a miracle. They basically played God. They made changes and edits to these beta cells that produce insulin so that the human immune system cannot recognize it. Because that's the huge problem with type 1 diabetes is your immune system attacks these cells and kills them. So they made these genetic modifications and they took these cells and they injected them into the patient's forearm muscle. The scientists at Sana were trying to figure out how long they were going to wait before they broke the news to the world of what they had just done. And they thought 2 weeks would be appropriate, but they doubled that and decided to wait 28 days. And here behind me, you can see what's called basal C-peptide. C-peptide is a byproduct of insulin as your body breaks it down. And when you check a C-peptide level, you're checking to see how much insulin is being produced by the body. You can see by day 7, this patient was producing a lot of insulin, whereas right before they were producing none. And you can see 14, day 21, and day 28 remained very consistent and even increased a little bit at the end there. This is what's called a mixed meal tolerance test. This is where they gave the patient some carbohydrates to see if those beta cells would rev up their production of insulin, and that's exactly what happened. This is what happens in a normal functioning pancreas. The level went from 10.5 to 17, almost doubled, which is incredibly awesome to see. Here you can see an MRI that they took of the patient's forearm showing proof that these grafts were still alive and functioning. Those arrows are pointing at the cells. When Sana was creating these cells that were supposed to evade or hide